Oh man. All right. Just finished doing my 30 minutes of cardio. Uh, it was good. It was pretty good. Um, I usually do the Stairmaster in the mornings. Um, Not sure what people prefer. I prefer the Stairmaster. It really gets my heart rate up and start sweating a lot. So it's just something I love to do. Um, Speaking about stuff you love to do, today I want to speak about passion. So everybody has a passion for something, right? People have passions, right? You have a passion for something. I don't whether it be drawing, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be riding your bike, speaking, I don't know. But everybody has a passion for something. People have passions, right? So because the reason I want to speak about passion is because a lot of people, they ask me certain questions that particular word can answer, right? So passion can answer so many questions that I get in my DMs, right? So whether it be from Will, how do you stay lean in your off season? What's lean to me, anyways? Will, how do you stay lean in your off season? Passion. Will, how do you prep, work, get your daughter, have your kids, prep your meals, eat your meals all day, train clients, and go to the gym? And maybe do if sometimes I have to do cardio twice a day, so then do cardio again at nighttime. How do you do those, right? And every day, not once a day. I mean, not one day, not 2 days, not 1 week, not 2 weeks, and that's it. I do it for 4 months in a row, right? So my prep is usually 16 weeks. So I'm waking up every morning around 5 o'clock in the morning. I do my cardio, whether it be 20, 30, 45, whatever it may be. I do my cardio. I make my breakfast. There are times where I make the kids breakfast. I make my wife breakfast. Then take a shower, get ready for work. I go to work. My first job is a part-time job, so I'm out by 12. So from 12 to about 2 to 3, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get my daughter. She lives with her mother. I get my daughter on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the week, where I'm working, I have to pick her up by 3 o'clock. So I have between 12 when I get out of work till 3 o'clock till I have to go get her. So sometimes I'll go straight to the gym. I'll have my clothes with me. I'll go straight to the gym. I'll work out, get my workout in. I always have my meals ready. I always have my meals with me. So they're always in here. So, I have my meals with me, and if I don't get my daughter, I go to the gym. I usually have clients at 4. My clients start at 4 o'clock. So I have between 12 and 3 because I like to go home and shower, get ready for my clients, so I'm not funky. And at 4 o'clock, I train my first client until about sometimes 8, sometimes 7, sometimes 8. So I have about 3 or 4 clients a day. And with that being said, I get out. Oh, I said I was going to stop doing that too. That whole with that being said shit. At 8 o'clock, I'm done. I come home. That's why I invested into a Stairmaster or into some kind of cardio machine in my house. I'll come home. I'll do my last cardio, eat my last meal, and go to bed. So it may sound like a lot to some, and it is a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot. So like I said, majority of the questions are how do you do this? How do you do so much in one day, right? Passion. Passion is the answer to majority of the questions that I have. Why do you do this? Passion. It was something I fell in love with 6 years ago. It wasn't something I grew up knowing. My father wasn't a bodybuilder. My uncle wasn't a bodybuilder. Nobody in my life was a bodybuilder. Nobody around me was even really that into fitness, you know? Growing up was, rough, I'm sure for most of you. So growing up was rough. So everything was work for me. Everything was work and make money, live life, pay bills, eat. That's it. I did a few park workouts once in a while. I boxed when I was younger. I did boxing when I was younger for about 4 or 5 years. And yeah, there was workouts in there, but nothing like bodybuilding. Boxing and bodybuilding completely different. So when it came to finally, I got super heavy at one point. I stopped boxing. I decided to change my life around, I guess you can say. I got super heavy at one point. I hit up to the 240s with no weight touching, no nothing, no cardio, no shit. That was strictly eating like shit all day and just fucking going home and sitting on the couch and watching TV. I would go from work to home and sleep. That was me. That was my life back then. One day, I will never forget this. It was on bodybuilding.com, right? That's when it was free 6 years ago. I was following Chris Gethin. I was following him. I followed some diet shit that he had on his. He had some program out. I followed it. Long story short, I lost 60 pounds in 3 months by myself, right? Well, with that as a guide. But I lost 60 pounds on my own with no coach. And granted, I didn't even know what a coach was back then, to be honest with you. So I lost 60 pounds. I happened to see my first coach, John De La Rosa. Shout out to John. Amazing guy, amazing person, great friend. Best of luck in the Olympia, by the way. And so after meeting John, I remember seeing him and I said, wow, this guy is fucking huge. He's huge. How do you get, what is that? I didn't know what steroids were. I didn't know what PEDs were. I didn't even know those things existed. Listen, clueless about bodybuilding. Clueless, completely clueless. So I saw him, I asked him, this was my transformation, this is where I came from, this is how I am now. I was about 175. So I said to myself I was way too skinny and I wanted to put on some muscle now. I wanted to get a little bigger, right? Whatever that meant. I didn't like that. I looked so skinny. I was so skinny. So I asked him, I said, listen, this is what I did on my own. And I know people bother you a lot. I just want to ask you a quick question. How do I put on muscle, right? So he sees my transformation pictures and he tells me I should do a show. That's when Men's Physique was just coming out or maybe been out for a few years. And I said, a show? What's a show? So he says, like a bodybuilding show. I was still clueless. So he says, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I said, oh, okay. I know what that is. I said, you want me to do that? I just told you I was 175, soaking wet. Stringy, no muscle. He goes, yeah, trust me, you'll be perfect for this division. So I go, okay. Jump forward. I go to his store 2 weeks later. I tell him, you told me to stop by. I'm doing what you said, and I came by to speak about the show that you said. So he says, I'm going to prep you. You're going to do everything I tell you to do, step by step. You're going to eat everything I tell you to eat. You're going to train how I tell you to train, and you're going to take every supplement I told you to take, regular supplements. So I said, okay, sure. That's simple, right? I was used to the whole meal prepping by then. I got used to that. I got a hold of that. I knew how to do that. So that was pretty, it was already on my agenda. So I did everything he said, step by step, didn't skip a beat. Fast forward, I think I prepped for 8 to 10 weeks, I believe I prepped for. Did a show. We picked the show, paid for it. That's what he told me to do. He said, I want you to pick a show. I want you to pay for it. Commit yourself to it. So I did that. Followed everything he said, got me to the show. Did my first Men's Physique competition. It was in the New Jersey State Championship. I'll never forget it. Came in first place in my class. So I came in first place, didn't win the overall. I came in first place and I couldn't believe it. Almost really couldn't believe it. And it was such a feeling that I've never felt before. I used to play basketball when I was younger. I've knocked somebody out when I was in boxing. It feels great. Listen, it feels amazing. I've won championships in little leagues and basketball and shit like that. Feels amazing, right? Feels great. Nothing felt the way it felt when I won that first place trophy. Nothing felt that way. Nothing. Nothing in my life ever felt that way. Nothing. I promise you, nothing. It was from there on where I knew there was something about this that not only did I like, but I fucking loved it. So I loved it to the point where I was willing to do whatever the fuck it took to get the job done. Right? Whatever it took. I used to tell my coach, I still tell my current coach now, Chris Tuttle, the second we started working together, I told him, I will eat shit out of the toilet if you told me to. Kid you not, I swear on everything. And, laughed, giggled, it was funny, but I was so fucking serious that it to me, it wasn't funny. To me, I was dead serious. You told me if I had to eat fucking, I don't know, fish and green beans for fucking 6 months in a row, I do that shit. I do it. I swear to God I do it. A lot of people may think I'm bullshitting, but I've done it and I will do it. I promise you. So when it comes to passion, that's passion. Passion is when you're so passionate about something that you will do whatever. You're willing to do whatever it takes. You're willing to die for this shit. You're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to get the job done. Right? So if you're a musician and you love music and whatever it may be that you love, but you're so passionate about it that you will do whatever it takes. You'll fucking practice day in and day out until you get it correct, until you get it perfect. So that's what passion, that's how I describe passion. So for me, passion is almost beyond love. It's beyond love for a specific career, passion, what do you call it? Hobby, whatever it may be, whatever it is you love to do, passion definitely exceeds love to me. Like if you're so passionate about something, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's passion to me. So a lot of the questions, like I said, that's the answer to a lot of my questions. That's it. That's the general answer. And yes, I can get more into depth about it, but the general answer is passion. You have to have a passion for something that you love to do. Something that you love. If there's no passion there, you'll never get the job done. I promise you'll never get the job done, because you know why? You'll quit. You'll find an excuse about it. You'll say something that may sound okay to you. It may sound okay in your head, and you say, well, that sounds about right. I can't do this today because I don't know. I have 4 things to do. Yo, I have a shit ton of work to do every fucking day. I make it to the gym. I make it. I used to go to the gym at 9, 10 o'clock at night. I did not give a fuck. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do my cardio still. It's passion that drives you. So you can be motivated in the beginning. You can find the motivation. You can find someone to motivate you or something to motivate you. But it's passion that carries that. From there on, motivation dies out. I'm sorry to tell you. Motivation will die out eventually. So if you're just still looking for something or someone to motivate you, and you're trying to find a motivation somewhere because that's your excuse as to why you go somewhere, you're fucked up in the game. Because I tell you right now, motivation dies out. And once that motivation dies out, if you don't have the passion for it, you won't continue doing it. You'll stop at one point. You'll just stop and you'll blame it on you're not motivated. You know how many times I hear that shit a day? I hear that shit so much. Every fucking day I hear it. I'm not motivated to go. How do you find the motivation to go? I don't have any more fucking motivation. I don't need motivation to go. I don't need motivation to bodybuild. I don't need motivation to be a better father. I don't need motivation to do good at work. I don't need motivation to wake me up. Passion wakes me the fuck up. Passion wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do my cardio. Passion gets me fucking meal prepping. Passion makes me be a better father. Passion drives me. Passion pushes me to do better and be better. When you have passion, you'll see what I'm talking about. For those of you out there that have the passion for whatever it is that you're doing, you'll see what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm talking about. Because, listen, I swear to God, motivation will die out. You will stop being motivated by something. Whatever was motivating you, it's gonna die out. And if you don't have the passion for it, you can forget about it. So, like I said, do whatever it is you're passionate about. Be happy about that. And if you're passionate about it, then it has to make you happy. So if you're that passionate about something, continue doing that shit. Be the best at it that you can be, and don't let anybody or anything get in your way or stop you. Because once you stop that and you stop being happy, trust me, it's not a good feeling. And if you're doing something you're not happy about, cut that shit out. If you're around people that's not making you happy, cut them out. If they're not following your passion, if they're not there for you, if they're not supporting you, if they're not supporting your passion, whatever that may be, goodbye, because you don't need them. Because your passion is what's going to make you happy. That's going to make you happy. Passion is what's going to keep you pushing. Motivation is going to die out. Believe me when I tell you, I promise you, once your motivation dies out, your passion will drive you. If you don't have passion, then you really don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Facts.